Coming to you live from the Sunken Spire. This is Optimal Play. I'm Brandon.
I'm Kyle.
Kyle, have you ever traded a card?
Never.
No?
No, I did it once when I was like 5 years old. I traded a Pokemon card for something I shouldn't have, and I'll never do it again.
I'm not going to ask further questions about what you shouldn't have traded for. Well, I'm going to blow your mind here today then, because we are here to preview, not to trade cards actually, just to play a trading card game, which is a game where you obtain and may, if you want, trade the cards in between playing the game.
Great.
You kind of trade the cards in this game actually. They switch back and forth between who controls them. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Is that why it's called a trading card game?
Is there actually no trading in this game?
Actually, you buy packs of cards and then trading them with your friends is strictly forbidden. But during the game,
you can trade all you want.
Yeah. So this is a trading card game. So in the vein of your Magic, your Pokemon, your Altered Flesh and Blood, but they call it sort of a board game hybrid. And that's because we play it on this grid. And we're not actually, this is what's most unique about this, we're not fighting to the death.
Aww.
Yeah, I know. We're just fighting to tame the majority of creatures on this grid when it's full.
I like it.
Make sense?
Yeah.
I hope so, because we played a whole practice game before starting this.
I didn't like that as much.
I did win the practice game.
That's why.
Just putting that out there. So what we have here was shipped to us by the publishers. They are sample decks. You can actually see on every single card it says sample card. So you know we're playing with a prototype when there's a watermark on them. So these are subject to change, and thank you for providing them for us. The Kickstarter for this game, as of the time we're recording and publishing this in early June, it's on now, and it lasts through June 19th or so. I'll put a link to it in the video description, and just don't dilly-dally if you're interested. With that, I think we'll dive in. We did not predetermine who's going to go first. Who should go first?
Well, I went first last time and I lost, so you should go first.
Deal. Okay. Sounds good. Last thing before I make my amazing first play is to suggest that you like this video. Subscribe to the channel. Why not?
Why not? It doesn't cost you a dang thing.
Not yet. No. You know, there's never underestimate capitalism.
So true.
YouTube's gonna squeeze that revenue out of you. It's charging for likes someday. Okay, so
do you want to talk about our factions before we jump in?
Yes. Why don't you talk about your faction?
Okay. I don't remember what mine's called.
You are the Free Tribes.
I'm the Free Tribes. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that does say that on some of my cards. But I'm playing the tamer Fiona, Merchant of the South, and I chose her because she has a cute little black cat on her art. She's great.
Oh, so she does.
Yeah.
It's very black. I thought that was just a rock.
It's her little rock friend. What do you mean? Little googly eyes and everything. So she deals with the keyword stampede, which we'll get to when we start playing. Mm-hmm. But she has a passive and an active ability. Her passive is if stampede is triggered by one of your creatures, you may instead choose to draw a card. And her active ability, which is her once per game big flashy move, is your next Stampede card can set another Stampede card into play. Lots of triggering on triggering.
Yeah, and normally you can only play one creature per turn. Stampede breaks that rule, so breaking that rule multiple times is potentially a big swing.
Yep.
I am playing Orbo the Lurker, who belongs to the Outcast faction. No cat friend here. No friends at all pictured. Oh wait, there might be a shark in the background. Is that what we think? Or is that a rock?
That's the rock.
So I'll be playing lots of fishy, aquatic type monsters and creatures, and then my passive ability is that if I've moved at least 2 creatures in one turn, draw a card. So a lot of my cards will deal with moving things around the grid. And my active ability, which is once per game, is choose a place and move up to 2 creatures onto adjacent fields. A place being a card type, not just anywhere you can name. Okay, with that, I am going to play something.
Do it.
I think it's going to be a pretty simple turn. Oh, I'm going to draw a card to start my turn. And I will play this Hydra down here at the bottom, where Hydras belong. So this is a creature. I control it, which tends to be the case when you just play it. So I'm going to mark it with one of my tokens. It has 4 attack values pointing in the 4 directions here, 7, 4, 5, and 2. And it would, at the time that I'm playing it right now, attack everything adjacent to it, taming it if it has the higher value compared to its neighbors. There's nothing for it to attack, so it won't do anything. And then its text says, this creature blocks the next incoming attack. So I have some little cubes off camera here, just as sort of a reminder that the next time this gets attacked, it blocks it, which... The rules are not 100% clear on blocking, but we've been using that to mean like canceling the next attack against it of any type, even if it or any size, like even if it would be too small to succeed anyway. That uses up the block. I think that's the call that we've made.
I like it. I like that call.
Do too. Okay, that's all I'm doing this turn. It's over to you.
All right. Well, I got a great turn here for you. Are you ready?
So ready.
Great. I'm going to play a little Northern Foothills.
A little Northern Foothills?
Which is a place, has an aura, which means the adjacent fields to it give my brown...
your
free tribes.
Five tribes.
It's a different game.
Wrong game. Your free tribes adjacent to it get
+1 on all their values.
And you can tell they're the free tribes if the colored gems, wherever they are on the different types of cards, is brown.
Persistly. And then I'm trying to decide what I want to do next, because it's important to know that.
You've done all that you have to do. You could just pass the turn.
It's actually interesting.
Did you draw a card, by the way?
I didn't. Thank you.
Which you haven't actually cheated, because it says
I can do it in any order.
All the things you do in your turn, you can do it in the order. It just seems like you might as well draw sooner than later.
I would agree with that statement. It seems valid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your Hydra is pretty beefy. Pretty beefy boy. I don't really know. I think I'm...
Are you really gonna not play a creature?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out the feel of this, and
sure.
I don't really have it yet.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what I will do.
What will you do?
I will play creature, as one does occasionally. Man, I don't like any of these creatures. I'm gonna do something a little unorthodox.
Okay. For your first turn of the game,
you're
already breaking all of our established norms.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to play this giant python, which when he comes into play, I choose a creature to the left or right, and you may return it to its owner's hand. So I will return your Hydra back to your hand.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Yeah. It is weird.
Yeah.
But I've done it.
So it would attack all its neighbors if it had any, and you can mark it with your control token. Allegiance token, actually.
Allegiance, yes.
Which these, by the way, are from Spirit Island, because we just needed to use some sort of placeholder, but I believe that like starter sets of the game probably include double-sided tokens, because the rules refer to flipping tokens, which is not what we are doing, but would be how you would handle it.
Indeed.
Normally. Okay. That giant python is annoying. Let's kill it? Not kill it. Just tame it. Have I drawn my card? I don't believe so. Ooh. Ooh. That's a big card.
I don't like that.
Yeah. These cards don't have costs, which is, I don't know how I feel about it, because some of them are just bigger than others. But I guess there's sort of two balancing factors, which is if your opponents tame it, then it's bigger for them. Mm-hmm. And also they do have rarities indicated by stars, and I've looked at the deck building rules, and you can have 20 stars in your deck. So the more powerful cards tend to have those stars. So it limits how many you can run in your 30 card deck.
But being 30 cards means that if you have a lot of stars in your opening hand, it's a pretty big swing.
That's true. Yeah, maybe... well, actually, we decided to mulligan so that we had slightly more well-rounded hands. The rules didn't say anything about a mulligan that we saw. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I was going to say you just mulligan for your stars. That's basically the...
Hard mulligan for stars. You heard it here.
We're going to keep things simple.
I love that.
We're just going to play a Kraken next to your Python. This has no text, just numbers. And the relevant number, this 5, is larger than the Python's 4. So it will, take control of the Kraken because I played it, and tame the Python. And I will also go ahead and play a marketplace, to be specific. This just says if you play this card adjacent to a place, draw a card. So I get to cycle that card, and I've also kind of blocked one of the places you're buffing with your foothills. Was my logic there. Okay, that's my turn.
All right. I'm going to come on in with a big swing here.
Don't like that.
I do. It has to go next to... Okay, interesting. Let's just go... Oh, man. The cards are not hitting what I want them to be hitting right now. It's the puzzle of adjacency with Stampede that's very challenging.
Oh, sure.
So I never actually read the keyword, but it says after attacking, you may set another creature without Stampede into play on an adjacent field. It attacks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh.
So you're basically playing a second creature that turn, but it has to not have Stampede, and it has to go into an adjacent field to the one with Stampede. So yeah,
it attacks as well.
That's pretty tricky, and it's like, so that seems to be your tricky, positioning mechanic, and mine is all the movement. I have a lot of cards that move things around, and
exactly,
it feels equally brain bending.
Yeah. All right, but what I will do is I will play the Satyr. The Satyr, so it comes into play. It's going to attack, and it's going to tame my Python back.
Yep.
Which I like.
It was my Python, but...
It's now my Python once more. And so I could play another person in here, but actually what I want to do instead is use my passive. If Stampede is triggered by one of your creatures, you may instead draw a card. So I will get more cards in my way here, which feels pretty good. And then I'm going to play a spell card called Pillage. Choose a creature of the free tribes, this one, and destroy an adjacent place, this one.
Whoa, my marketplace!
If it did, draw a card. I do.
What? That's
busted.
Wow. In our whole practice game, we never destroyed a card ever.
No,
so
I know.
I
just broke that.
It's not super common. And obviously there can't be just too much destruction in this game because the end game trigger is the board being full, right? But so we know there is some. That was real rude.
You're welcome.
I don't love it.
And
but I think I can
say I never drew my opening card either.
Oh, well, feel free.
Thank you.
You're within your rights to draw last.
I do.
Ooh.
You got some good stuff over there or what?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, this'll do just fine. I am going to play a place Bedazzling Lagoon. If adjacent fields are empty, the next creature in the respective line moves onto that field. If at least one creature was moved, to draw a card. So this is just going to bedazzle your Python next to it. And I moved a creature, so I will draw a card. And... interesting. Hold, please. No.
No.
Well, what was I going to do? Okay, I was thinking about some hooking hijinks, but I don't think I need it. I will...
That sounds very
funny. Next, I am just going to play a Horror from the Depths. It has some text we'll get to in a moment, but first it attacks the giant python, taming it 4-2, and the satyr, taming it 8-3.
Yikes.
I'm shutting you out currently. And this says, after this, a creature attacks, intimidate. Adjacent creatures move a field away from this card if the field is empty. I am not sure whether... So the python clearly would move here, right?
Yep.
Does moving away, do you think, has to be in a straight line so the satyr can't move, or does it make a move in one of these directions?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I do have, as I click over on our recording computer, I do have the rules on this in a large file size PDF that Chrome doesn't like to load. I do have a glossary. I could see if it defines away. Otherwise, we'll just make a call.
Okay.
Boy, it sure is slow though.
Sure is.
Chrome trying to
I feel like
open this PDF.
Since it's away, it feels like a push, like a Gloomhaven push needs to be moving
like in a straight line.
In a straight line away.
Okay. I think that's valid.
Yeah, that's what I must say.
Okay, well, then that is how we were playing.
Beautiful.
It's hard to beat Kyle when you just go by his interpretation of all the rules at any given time, but I'm planning to do
every given time.
All right, that's my turn.
Okay.
Oh, no, sorry. That's not fully my turn.
What else?
Oh, no, there's one more call we have to make. If we're not moving the satyr, then this is something that we wondered about in our practice game, too. My passive says if you moved at least 2 creatures in one turn, draw a card. I moved 1 creature twice.
Yep. I still don't think that would trigger it, but it feels bad for you. Period.
All right, we can say no. I mean, I am winning 4-0. So.
Yeah, so I do need the help.
All right. Yeah. Early version of this game could use a little bit of clarity polish, I feel like, but I'm sure it'll get it.
Yeah.
At least I'm hopeful that it'll get it.
I'm sure you're hopeful. All right. I should be able to just absolutely clean house here, right?
I mean, it's not like I've left you any great spots for multiple attacks.
No, definitely not.
I'm now realizing how much it looks like a stampede and a second play could really just literally
totally
flip everything.
flip
We wouldn't like that.
Well, we'll hope it doesn't happen.
Okay,
with
good.
This Cyclops who's going to stampede and turn.
What the? Oh, jeez, this is a 3-star card, but 8s on the left and right and an A at the bottom, which an A just means, according to the rules, the highest possible value. It just beats everything, I guess, except other A's.
Indeed.
And
But I think it would tie other A's, so you couldn't turn an A with an A.
What I wonder is, can you give an A +1 to beat another A? I'm thinking not. You can't add +1 to a letter.
No.
That
doesn't make any sense.
No.
And then I'm just going to rock right in with a onslaughting harpy.
Oh, no. Okay.
Which is just going to 6 takes 4 and 8 takes 5 and turn both these monsters. Didn't see that coming.
Has big swings. What do I do about this? Oh, no. Okay.
I still didn't draw a card this turn, so I should probably do that.
Probably.
I could play a place.
Yeah?
I could play a place. I'm a little afraid of playing a place that would return something right now. Ooh. Yeah, I don't think it's worth opening a door for you.
No?
As much as I kind of want to. Nope. I will hold there.
Okay. I will draw a card. Okay. I see the play, but not how to do it. I drew a spell that will be great once I control one of these. But not quite yet.
Not until you do.
But I can gain some control of things, I think. Like by playing the spell against the current. Choose a creature your opponent controls and move it to an empty field. So I'm going to move it way up here in the corner. Harpies like to fly.
Don't love that.
And then I will play a Deep Sea Dragon.
Ooh,
This has some big numbers, particularly to the north and east. And it says hook. And the rulebook clarifies this happens before it attacks. Choose a creature your opponent controls and move it to an adjacent field of this card.
Whoa.
So I am going to I think I want this Horror of the Depths back under my control. So I'm gonna mark my own deep sea dragon that I just played, and then it's going to do its attack. So it's going to tame the harpy, and tame the Horror from the Depths.
And may I point out, you just moved 2 different creatures.
I know. So I'm gonna draw a card. Ooh. Okay. The last thing I could do is play a place, and I might.
Just might.
Just might. I think I just want to block some more of your aura area and cycle a card. I'll play a marketplace. We saw this before. If I play it adjacent to a place, I draw a card. Oh, this card is so cute. You can't see it.
I want to see it.
No.
Right,
Only the
play
camera.
It, play
the
it
camera
soon.
can. Oh, wait. I was holding it up. Only the camera can see it, but the camera's looking at us right now.
Amazing.
There we go. Only the camera can see it.
Fantastic.
All right, your play.
Okay.
And we're already kind of on the back half of the game, right? We've
Yeah,
got,
we feel like we're
10 out of 16 slots full. It moves fast.
Sure do. Okay. This is a little bit of a spot here that I found myself in.
Yeah?
Yeah, it is. It's a little annoying, but it's fine. Everything's fine.
I mean, you're winning.
Technically. Alright, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to play the Lazarette up here, which is a new place. I'm also going to draw a card, because I probably should do that earlier.
Mm-hmm. And what's the Lazarette say?
The Lazarette says when this card comes into play, choose an adjacent creature and return it to its owner's hand, so I will return this harpy to my hand.
Your hand.
Yeah, even
But I controlled that harpy.
You sure did.
And it attacks whenever it moves.
It
and
sure
I
does.
move things a lot.
It sure does. All those things are true.
You ruined, literally my next 3 turns worth of plans.
Well, good. I am delighted to say that, to say the least. Interesting. I feel like I just want to continue to control more things. So I could play a spell, I could play more places. I think I'm just gonna play this Earth Spawn and not play him effectively.
Oh.
He's going to just go in this corner.
It attacks for 1. That's the lowest number I've seen to the north.
Yeah, it's 2, 4, 3, but it does destroy places. But I feel
An
like
adjacent place. Yeah.
I want to try to just push through.
You were
here.
just trying to use this corner that I can't get into and
Yeah.
add more points to the board. I see.
And that's the things. Those are my things.
Okay. That's a problem. Everything about that is a problem.
Good.
That said, I'm just 1 creature here from taking the majority, so it's not over by any
The
means.
Cyclops is pretty strong.
Oh, geez, there is an 8 there. Yeah, okay, valid. Let's see. Well, what can I do about that? That Cyclops is terrifying. That much is true.
It does only have 1 eye. That is not something you normally see.
Why don't I? Where's that? I think both our decks have a copy of a spell that just gives a creature +1 and attacks already. I could really use that right now.
Same.
Move some things next to my 8-power Deep Sea Dragon, give it +1 and attack. Would be real nice. I think I can put something together here, though.
Is Hook
That's
anytime it
reasonable.
attacks?
I believe it's just when it enters play, but if that comes up, we can check.
Cool.
Okay, let's do this. Not that one. This one. Shifting Portal is a spell. Choose a creature you control and a creature your opponent controls and swap their positions.
Ooh.
So I'm going to swap this Deep Sea Dragon down into the bottom of the board where it belongs, so that 3 is covered, and your Earthspawn can go here. Where it's not even getting buffed by your Foothills because it's not a free tribes card.
I don't love that.
I've also just moved 2 creatures, so I will draw a card.
You sure do.
Ooh. That's interesting. I don't see any reason not to play this immediately, especially when I haven't played a creature yet this turn. Aid from the Depths. It's a spell. Reveal the top cards of your deck until you reveal a creature card with hook. Put it into your hand.
Whoa.
And the rest on the bottom. So, there's that Mighty Strike. Do I have more creatures with hook? This Leviathan has hook.
Ooh.
Seems good.
Scary. Jeez.
And it has an A. We love
it
we
has
love
an
that.
A to the right. That is the
We
worst
love that.
place. Oh
Okay.
my goodness.
We're
in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have forgotten what my original plan was, but this gives me a new plan. I was like, why did I do this? I was then gonna at least take these with it, but it's not attacking here, and I don't really know how I intended for it to attack. So we're just gonna forget that. We're still happy about having a big creature with its weak point covered. Then let's go ahead and play that Leviathan. This is mine. It has hook, but there's no empty space unless I wanted to do anything to create one. No, I don't think so.
Seems bad.
Yeah. Okay. So it's going to. Oh wait. Yeah. It can't attack my own creature anyway. But A beats your Cyclops 8, so I'll take control. And 7 beats your Satyrs 3, so I'll take control. I could still play a place, and I think I should, if only to kind of block off your options. So I'm going to play this Haunted Shipwreck. It has an aura that is just the inverse of your Northern Foothills. Creatures that are not the Outcast get -1. Outcast being the blue gem creature. So now everything adjacent to it is -1, which is this Python.
I don't love that.
Okay, pass the turn to you.
Alright, see if this draw will help me. Ooh, it does.
And I don't think we've touched yet for the video on kind of how this game ends. As soon as someone fills the 16th slot, we resolve that card and the game immediately ends. And then whoever controls the majority of creatures wins, with ties going to the person who did not end the game.
Correct.
Right? So don't end the game unless you can swing the majority in your favor. If tie is not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
With that, how are you going to do it?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you right now. First things first, I'm going to pillage.
You're going to what now?
Pillage. I did this once before. I choose a creature of the free tribes, the Cyclops, even though I don't control him, and I destroy an adjacent place. Goodbye, Bedazzling Lagoon.
Ah, I love that lagoon.
That lagoon. That being said...
Also, that's Pillage says if you did draw a card, right? Would you like to?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Draw a card?
I do want to do that.
There doesn't, as far as I know, there's no hand size limit, so draw all the cards you want.
Here goes nothing. That being said, I'm going to continue playing cards, because that's the way to win this game.
Don't forget, if you play something here, it gets -1.
Oh, I've accounted for that.
Oh, good. Okay.
It's going to be this amazing card that I have.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to it.
It's the Deathclaw Dragon.
Oh, that sounds terrible for me.
It's pretty good. It's A to the top, which is the only available space, and it will change the control of both the Horror from the Depths.
Yeah, 6 versus 4 and 6 versus 4.
5 versus 4 on both cases because of your -1
Oh, so you,
debuff.
right. So you just had enough.
But I have A -1 at the top, so, you know.
A -1, okay.
Yeah.
Well, fuck. This is bad.
Yeah.
We didn't want that.
No?
Not particularly. Anything else on your turn? You haven't played a place yet if you still wanted to.
I kind of do.
That Deathless Dragon, or Deathclaw Dragon has Onslaught also. Whenever it's moved, it attacks again.
Yeah.
So, like, I can move it, but if I move it while you control it, it might just cause more gains for you.
Yeah, there's not a lot of movement I can do right now, which is a little annoying.
No one's forcing you to.
But I'm gonna play this spell, which we decided is a bad spell. But you know, why not? Traveler Rations.
Oh, I think that is a pretty bad card, yeah.
I draw a card, and then at the end I get to discard a card. But you know what I'm going to discard?
The same card you just
The
drew?
same Traveler's Ration. That's just true. Wash.
Yeah, I'm really trying to make sense of that card. It's just like...
I have nothing in my deck that cares about discarding.
Yeah, and when you count itself, you're discarding 2 cards to draw 1. That just seems like a terrible ratio.
It's a horrible trade.
Like, I get that probably a card that just... I mean, when cards don't have costs, even a card that just says draw a card would be overpowered, right? Because, at least if it's a spell.
So like
because,
this one?
Well, places at least can cost your place
that's true.
for the turn.
But yeah, I mean, if you have a huge hand,
a spell that just says draw a card would just think all it's doing is letting you run like a 27 card deck, right? If you put 3 of them in your deck, that would be way overpowered. But this ain't it.
Seems not the thing. Yeah, maybe there's synergy for discarding cards in future sets.
Or among the cards we don't have here, which is most of them.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
in future sets, or
like the first set, which isn't out yet. Okay, sure. All right, there's gotta be.
There's no way. There might be a way.
Guess with 3 empty slots, I'm almost definitely not ending the game this turn. But I want to make it. I need to take control so well that you can't end the game and win. So.
Indeed.
Because like I could play a creature that will take over your Earth spawn with its 1 value over there, but. That just ties up the number of creatures, and then you end the game. So I need to do better than that, and that's.
I will say that destroying here has been the big swing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Destroying places has been fun.
Yeah, that's been good for you. I wonder if I just need to play my adorable little otter.
I do love an adorable otter.
Have I? Oh, I haven't drawn a card this turn.
You should do that.
Yeah, that'll save me.
Did it?
It's not the worst. It's not the worst. But it's not the best.
Doesn't sound like a save.
It can't beat an A.
Not even an A-1.
Can I... Oh, I haven't used my active ability yet this game. To choose a place and move up to 2 creatures onto adjacent fields.
Whoa.
That
could be a big
That could be a big...
I don't like it.
Twist here.
You shouldn't do it.
So... I'm not sure that it's enough, though. Because what I need to do is set up a place where I can... Oh, I can. Okay.
Like
sure. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to use my Orbo the Lurker active ability. Choose a place and move up to 2 creatures onto adjacent fields. I'm going to choose the Lazaret.
Okay.
And I will move your Deathclaw Dragon next to it. And also... Then what? None of these have a lot of craziness going on. I just want to not leave you a good spot to play. So let me go.
I do like good spots to play.
Yeah, right?
I'm a big fan of those.
I don't think that this will end up being a very good spot for you, so I'm just going to slide into this Earth spawn up here. Okay, then... So that's my... Oh, that's a spell. No, that's my active ability. I do draw a card because I just moved 2 creatures.
Sure did.
And then, for my next trick, I play Swarming Vigor, a spell that says the next creature that comes into play gains +3 until the end of your turn.
Jeez.
Yeah. Jeez is right.
That's gonna swing.
Yeah. That is the plan. So I could play an awe-inspiring sea serpent. But wouldn't it be funnier to do it with just a fish? I think so. So I'm going to give +3 to Steelfin. This has the hook ability, which shouldn't matter here. So with its +3, I'm granting it attacks your Deathclaw dragon, and the fish beats it 8-5 or 8-6. The 6-4 tames the horror from the depths. Welcome home, horror. And the 6-4 tames the Cyclops.
Whoa. That
was pretty good.
Good.
Yeah. Lastly, I could play a place, and I probably should. Ooh, I wonder if Oh, this is cool. Okay. I've got 2 more plays left, since I can play any number of spells. A secret passage up here. When this card comes into play, move an adjacent creature to an adjacent field of this space. That's all, or to this place.
Impossible.
That does nothing. It just clogs up the space. And then lastly, Shifting Portal. Choose a creature you control and a creature your opponent controls and swap their positions. So I am going to swap this and it's a giant python.
Okay.
So that the space that's remaining for you to play is next to 2 creatures you already control. So that leaves me, as I pass the turn here, I control 7 to your 3. So now you need to
open some sort of crazy portal.
If you can convert 2 of mine and add your own, that's enough to do it. That's basically what it takes here.
That feels near impossible at this moment. Man, I think that active ability is much stronger than mine. I've yet to track.
Oh, the double stampede.
It. Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably easier to build around this one, or because this is kind of
more like
this is like
toolboxy.
universally good.
Yeah.
As long as someone has played some places, you'll find a time to use this. Your deck needs to like have the right mix of exciting stampede creatures to kind of.
I think maybe I've just been not like I think. It's funny because when we looked at the which deck to do well, what time period, yours was like early mid, whereas it feels like mine is actually early mid, and I should just be stampeding out a bunch of creatures in the beginning.
Does seem
right?
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
and
that's the only time that's going to be good.
Well, and you're talking about what the blurb in the rulebook said about the general strengths and weaknesses of the factions. It wasn't necessarily talking about
of
that
the deck.
Right?
Yeah. That's true. Is there anything I can do here? I don't think so. I have 4 creatures and 1 place. None of which I think will do the thing they need to do.
I am pretty pleased with that last turn I took.
Yeah,
that went
pretty
great.
bonkers.
Yeah. And I did it with a fucking carp.
A very powerful carp. In bolster?
A swarming vigor. A swarming carp. Yeah.
The vigor of the carp was empowered. Yeah, I don't really think there's anything for me to do. So I think the technical smart play is to pass and hope you have no creatures or places.
But when you pass a turn, I get to tame a creature.
Yeah.
Like, so I'll just tame this one. And play a sea serpent that will tame your remaining ones.
No. Very close game, you can see.
Well, I mean, this betrays how close it was.
No.
Like, if you had had a way to play a creature and convert 2 of mine, which is like, that's smaller than the swing I had on my previous turn.
Oh, definitely.
But it's tough. Yeah, it's interesting that it places like with the tiebreaker, always going to the person who didn't play last. It obviously assumes that going last is very powerful, which is true because it's like you get the last say in a game that's flipping the lead back and forth. But you have such a limited like positioning. And stuff,
in the last play.
That maybe if you were to be building your own deck and getting good at this game, you might be thinking towards that turn some ways in advance, which I don't think either of us necessarily was.
Yeah. All right.
This is neat though. It's really unique.
Yeah, it is.
There's nothing like I think that I said this to you off camera, but like when the marketing for Neverrift says like it's TCG meets a board game, I kind of like rolled my eyes at it because like I've played other CCGs that play on a grid. Right?
Yeah.
It's just like that's not that distinctive, but this does feel more like a board game because you're not.
It's a lot of positioning.
Yeah. It's like it's not really similar at all, but it reminds me of like Neuroshima Hex, which is a game you play on a hex grid, but you're laying out units and then they kind of attack on almost like a script. But so it's all about the positioning of where you put them, and then they kind of take it from there.
Yeah.
And it reminds me a little bit of that.
I think movement in this game is very powerful, I will say.
Yeah, which seems to be what the Outcast tribe.
Yeah.
Tribe. You know, you're the free tribes. I'm just the Outcast. The Outcast
Yeah.
faction is that's their whole jam.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I had a good time with it.
Same.
Well, thank you for the game. I'm sorry for crushing you 1,000,000 to 0, but you know.
It felt
such a
felt good. Like that 3/4 mark, I was like, oh, I got this.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, is like the lead practically swings back and forth every turn in this, which is probably it's up to your taste whether that's a good thing or a bad thing about a game. It's kind of chaotic.
Yeah,
but
like
it's
it.
also exciting. Yeah,
I like it. Yeah, it's very exciting. Where like one good play and positioning can really just turn the sea of yellow to purple or back and forth.
And I think that this game would be really fascinating too, because like I'm a big Hearthstone player, and I remember as I learned. As I got better at Hearthstone and I learned all the cards, the game transitioned from this gauntlet of random shit happening to you coming from your opponent's hand to like, oh, you're really thinking about what your opponent might have, what they can afford, and what they're capable of. And that was clearly missing from our level of play, right? Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't sitting here being like, okay, well, I know Kyle's got a card in his deck that can do this. Is he playing like it's in his hand? Like, that's not a level of, right?
Sure.
But that could be really interesting.
Yeah, maybe it's 6 or 7 more plays.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, thank you for watching. Neverrift is on Kickstarter right now, and thank you again for providing us with these sample copies. We really enjoyed trying it out.
Yeah.
That link is in the description. While you're down there, the subscribe button to Optimal Play is there. So is the like button. So hit
Smash
those.
it.
Yeah, we have no Patreon or anything. That's the one and only way to help us out. So we appreciate it. And we'll be back soon with all sorts of other playthroughs on the channel.
Hell yeah.
See you then. Till then, be optimal.